Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you guys are used to. There's not going to be off-roading videos, no Corvette cold start, stuff like that. We did a live stream a couple days ago. Paul with FamilyCruisin put on a live stream on Google Hangouts and also streamed on Facebook. And we kind of just went over upcoming cars and kind of, our plans for 2018. And it was me, Paul, SRTMUSH, RP Production, and John Doc. And so we kind of just discussed, our plans and our opinions on upcoming cars. So, yeah, it's a little different than what you guys are used to, but yeah, check it out.
What's up, YouTube? This is Paul with the FamilyCruisin Network. And tonight we have Todd, SRTMUSH, Riley, RP Productions, John Doc, and Dalton from Bertrand 850.
What's up?
What's up, everybody?
What's up, YouTube?
All right, so before we get started, let's congratulate Riley on his engagement.
Yeah, Riley. Ball. Good job, kiddo. Thanks, Dad.
All right, so we got the comments coming in. I have it on another monitor over here watching them. Shout out to Jay. He's the one that gave me the idea. Thanks, Jay. Jay's channel. Go check it out. But today we just wanted to talk about the new cars that are coming out in 2016 or 2019, not 2016. And let's get started with the Mustang GT500. That seems to be the hottest car going on right now.
That's a lie. Apparently you don't know the Demon. Come on.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
The Demon is so 2018. Or
True.
2017.
It's already played out.
Right?
I got in too late on that.
Yeah, so you got in too late. So that's a good question or a good point that you were making. Do you guys think that the GT500 will compete with the Demon or with the ZL1 1LE?
Ooh. I think it's probably going to be more drag focused personally, because I don't know. I mean, I've never owned a GT500, but I mean, they've kind of always been more just straight line, haven't they? Just, obviously they handle well because they're a smaller, lighter car, but I don't think they've ever really been track focused like the GT350 or the, the 1LE. I guess even the new ZL1s are, I mean, not really geared as a track car, but they're a lot more capable than, the first gen SSs and stuff. But
yeah,
it'll be an interesting year for sure, though, with all the brands.
Yeah. So what do you guys think Chevy's going to come out with? Do you think they're going to come out with a 750 horsepower Camaro? Z28?
I mean, the Z28's the rumor. I don't know if it'll have that much power, but I mean, look at what they did with the ZR1, for example, as compared to the Z06. You'll probably see something similar with the with the Camaro to kind of fill that gap.
I agree.
I know now, like, GM is offering, you can, like, drag upgrades, I guess you can call them. You can get, like, weld wheels and tires and everything like that. So they're definitely, aiming more towards that. I guess the ZL1's not really intended to be a drag vehicle, but it works so well. They can go, like, pretty fast with almost nothing on there. So I think that the Demon definitely have its hands full against some modded ZL1s.
Oh, yeah. Hey, John, you obviously probably know more about GM stuff than I do. What do you think Chevy will ever, now that Dodge has done the Demon and shown that there's at least some demand for a street legal drag car, do you think they'll ever take something like the Cobo Camaro and adapt it just a little bit to where it's a little bit more realistic for something for people to own for the street and the strip?
I mean, I don't really think they ever will. The Copo is kind of like they're set in stone. Chevy's pretty stupid because they just like they're like, this is how we've done it. This is how we're going to do it. And they won't break the mold. So like the Copo is just like, oh, they're straight up race car, no VIN number. I mean, honestly, if you wanted to drive it on the street, all you gotta do is put like a nice radiator in it and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Really not that far off. And like maybe a couple coolers on it. But other than that, you know, I think that they're really gonna push like the aftermarket stuff, trying to sell more through GM parts. Because I mean the platform now, like I don't know if you've seen the pictures of like their drag development stuff. I mean, essentially it's just bolt-on parts that they're going to offer. And I mean, like where they are now with the new motors, LT4 and everything like that. I mean, you do a heads cam intake or no intake, you do a heads cam and headers on it. I mean, shit, that thing will run the nines all day, like deep in the nines. So I don't know if they'll ever make a standalone car like that, but the platforms are definitely getting better for it.
Nice.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you're saying there, because like the Camaro has turned into more of like an all-around track car. Like the 6th gen platform was really like the changing point in the Camaro history, I guess, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean the 5th gen's a complete pig. I mean, it really doesn't do anything well. It doesn't drag well. It doesn't corner well. It's heavy. So the 6th gen definitely woke it all up. And I mean, now it's like, I'm surprised there hasn't been people going faster in the ZL1. Our shop, as the record, we went 9.1 at 148 with heads cam, lower pulley, and headers, and some nitrous. And it went 9.1 at 148.
Wow.
Lazy tuner.
If you wanted to go faster, just ask Mrs. Mush to drive it.
Oh God.
How does that? Does she have the fastest ET in that car?
She does. The that day at the call out event up there is we were still tuning. So every time I'd run the car, I would log it. Had the laptop sitting there and log it, and then we would kind of tweak the tune after each run. And it was taking a while for it to cool down between runs. So I'd have to let it sit for about a good 45 minutes or whatever. And then finally, the last run that I made, we found one small little thing that we needed to change, changed it, let it cool down. And then I, for some reason, thought they were running for like another 2 or 3 hours. And somebody said, yeah, they're shutting it down in an hour. So I was like, well, crap. We're not going to have enough time. So I just, because her and Lauren were, planning to, do their race. So I was like, well, we better do that now then before we run out of time. So she took it and ran it. And that was the fastest time that we had got in it. And it was on the latest version of the tune that we hadn't tested yet. So
what did it run?
A 9.8.
Dude, that is hauling ass.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of guys that have been racing for years that have never seen a 9.
Yeah, yeah. And she's vicious.
Yeah. That's
because I get in there and I drive it and I'm like, oh, that felt weird. Something felt weird about that. Something sounded weird. It sounded like it was knocking or something didn't sound right. Don't matter to her. She just gets in, puts her foot to the floor, and doesn't stop until she passes the traps.
That's awesome. Does she give you shit that she's been faster than you?
Oh, dude, everybody does now. She does. Everybody does.
That's funny. A little unknown secret is that I actually don't even have the fastest ET in my car. One of the guys at the shop I was up in Pennsylvania and they had my car, so they ran it and they went like 2/10, not 2/10. They went like a couple tenths faster than me or something. So
wow.
Everything I did. But I don't tell anyone that. So hopefully not too many of my viewers are watching this, so I'll never hear the end of
it. So my question is, who's going to race SRTMUSH and his Demon?
My hand is always raised.
John would still beat me.
See, no one knows how fast my car runs, though. How can you say that?
Because I've seen it run. I've seen you run Nick, and I know what his runs.
Well, when I raced him that day, I was down like up top. I was down 200 horsepower, so I'm just like ready to unleash it on someone.
I imagine there's probably you've got to be knocking on 8s this year for sure if you're not already.
No comment.
Yeah.
So, one of the questions that I have, Todd, is how long is your Demon going to stay stock?
Performance-wise, or
yeah, anyway.
I mean, I've already got stuff coming in. Like I've been stockpiling some stuff to do to it, not for performance stuff, but my outlook on it is this: like Dodge ran the car to a 9.6, and everybody says, well, nobody else is going to be able to do that. And true, it's going to be very hard to do because that time was run with a 1.3 something 60 foot, which is insane. That's going to be really hard to duplicate. But that being said, I want to be able to run the car to as close as I can get it to what they say it can do. And because if we get the car and me or my wife can't say even get in the 9s with it, we know the car's not the problem. We know the power's not the problem. We know it's us or the track, track prep or, something. So there's no point in trying to put any more horsepower to it off the bat until we're good enough with the car, and running it at its full potential first. And I don't know for sure that the tires that come on it, the wheels and tire package that come on it is the best option for the track. It's probably by far the best option they're available to sell it with. But it could be possible. So, people that get these cars, throw a good, Mickey Thompson tire on there and do better than that time already off the bat. But it'll be hard to get that time because a 1.3. I mean, Paul, John's probably running close to a 1.3 60 foot in his car.
My best is like a 1.34 is the best.
Yeah,
I'm leaving trans brake build and boost, so
yeah, it's not easy.
My best 60 foot is a 1.498.
Yeah, where ours was like a 1.51, I think, and it's without a trans brake and without being able to, because for those who don't know, the Hellcats, you can't really build boost
right
on launch unless at least with the stock setup. So it's not easy to get that time. And if you don't get that time, if you don't get that 60 foot, no one's going to get that 9.6 time on that. So that's my plan is for us to get as close as we can to that before we put any power to it. So that way we know we're maximizing our ability to drive it, what the car can do.
Are you required to run that exact tire on there? Because I know, like, gearing wise and everything, a transmission like that will probably shift off mile an hour. So if you have put a bigger tire on it, did they say anything to you about that or anything like that?
No, I think as long as and I don't know for sure, but I think as long as you keep the front and the rear sizes in ratio to each other close enough, it won't cause any issues.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 8-speed seems to be able to handle, like, we're throwing from the stock Hellcat's going with 262 gears. So we throw 309s in and it does just fine without any trans errors. People threw a 370 gear in the rear end and they seem to have problems in 8th gear with high speed at 140 miles an hour. They get a high speed trans error.
Those new transmissions with all those gears are kind of like how they're shifted. It's crazy with all the tuning and all that. Mine's like a manual valve body, so I shift it myself. I can only imagine the tuning that goes into something like that, where changing gear ratios messes every shift up.
Yeah, it's wizardry inside those things. Especially the 10-speed and the new GM 10-speed and stuff. I can't imagine like someone trying to build like a race version of that. Like what all is involved in that. I mean,
it's crazy now. GM locks all their computers from the factory, so when you get if someone comes to us with a ZL1, they want to tune, we have to give them a new transmission control module that's unlocked just to be able to tune it. So it's kind of like they don't want you to. They want you to keep everything like GM.
Yeah,
it's pretty weird. I wonder how good is the warranty for the Demon though? Do they say what it is?
I mean, they say it's 36,000 3-year, 36,000 mile powertrain, no matter what.
Beat the shit out of it.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you don't modify it, then they'll cover it. If you're on the track and you break a drive shaft or break an axle or something, they say they'll cover it.
So you said you have some maybe visual mods. Are you putting bags on it? Come on, now that would be cool.
I don't know yet. That would make a lot. That would get a lot of hate. A lot of hate. I think it would look great. I mean, I think it would look cool. But honestly, one of the, the Demon doesn't make an insane amount of power, and all the little things that they did to it did make, big impacts on it performing on the drag strip. One being the trans brake and the rear end and the suspension. So, I don't think that the suspension, obviously, the air suspension has hurt the Hellcat in terms of drag racing, but only because the Demon's, I say low on power, like 840 horsepower is low on power, but it's running at very fast times considering it's only 840 horsepower. So I wouldn't mind trying it out and then taking it to the track and see how it does. I'm not against it, but I don't want to compromise how to perform with this car anyways.
I saw one in person last weekend that for the first time I was kind of shocked how much fender gap there is in the rear. And obviously that's set up so it's, it kind of like, I was like, it doesn't seem like the tire's quite the right size or they got the suspension jacked up.
Yeah.
But hey, if it works, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a question from the commenters, and this is like 6 questions long. John, would you race Mrs. Mush, or are you scared of her?
I'd race her. I mean, listen, I feel bad because I take no prisoners, so I mean, I put the gap on her too, but.
Hey, Paul.
Yes, sir.
So I'm sitting here reading the comments as well, and one of them that was pretty funny from Jay McMillan. He asked if we all raced here in this group, who would win? And I'd like to say that I by far have the slowest car here, and it makes
I don't know.
The crank.
I don't know.
I
His
think
650
you would beat me, Dalton.
It'd be close. Oh, tires? No, you'd beat me now. My tires are garbage.
And then somebody asked who would beat, Jay McMillan asked who would beat Street Speed. And I believe that would be every single one of us, right?
I don't know. It's new. The car built right.
Me and Riley got the C5. It'd be that.
A heads cam Z06 is gonna move.
Well, what about the McLaren? Oh, that would be easy.
Oh yeah, that thing's
well.
hard.
In terms of channels like ours and Mike's and Nick's and Cletus, like I think of course I don't have a lot of time to watch, to subscribe to 100 different people, but from what I've seen, John's Camaro and Cletus might be the fastest cars on there as far as racing YouTube vlogger type channels. I think so. I think they're kind of the leaders in the game and in our little genre of channels there.
Yeah. Now, so somebody's asking. Hold on, I'm looking at it for the name because I lost it. Oh, Matt Bertram wants to know, Riley, since you daily drive your Hellcat, how do you keep it from getting dinged up?
Pray.
Especially since you're at college and nobody gives a crap that car is at college.
No, a lot of it comes to do with like strategic parking. Like if you go to a parking lot, just kind of like scan the area, like, okay, where can I park that would try to eliminate other people either walking by it, parking next to it. So, always try to park by curbs and that sort of thing. So a lot of it's luck, honestly. I mean, anything could happen at any moment. And
do you have orange cones?
That's just kind of the risk you take, I guess. But oh well.
All right. Oh, someone asked who the oldest is. We all know that, and that's Grandpa Mush.
Yeah, Grandpa Mush.
Yeah, or Papa Mush, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into the next topic real quick. What's everybody's plans for 2018 for YouTube? If they want to share it, if not, it's secret. Project car.
Yep.
Is it going to be a Chevy or Dodge project car?
I'm not sure. Ford is also in the mix there, so we'll see.
Boo!
Don't go get a Mustang.
Don't think about getting a Chevy either. We're done with you.
Hey, but what if it's boosted?
Yeah, can't go wrong.
We'll think about it.
Okay, all right.
All right. Well, we all know Mush's project for 2018 is the Demon, right? Or do you have something else planned?
You know, I just want to. My goal is to try to go. You know, just go out there, race as much as we can with both the cars, and have fun doing it, and hopefully, you know, not break anything too badly, and obviously not wreck. And you know, I mean, my own personal goal, and I don't know how obtainable it is yet, but I would like one of our cars to even hit 8999999, and that would be awesome. I don't know which one yet, but that's kind of my, you know, starting the year off. That's kind of my initial thought.
You're gonna try to get your 4-door grocery getter into the 8s?
Yes. Well, that or the Demon. I don't know.
That would be cool. John, what's your project? Not to blow up your engine?
No, I'm ready to let that thing fly if it wants to. It's on its own agenda now. If it wants to go, let it go. I mean, I don't know. I'm just trying to do it big this year, trying to definitely go faster than last year. But my goal, I think, is to kind of grudge race more. I didn't show much of that. I just kind of kept that like more. A lot of guys that grudge race don't like to put their stuff on camera, but saying screw that. You're going on camera whether you like it or not. So some more money racing, everything like that, and then just trying to have more fun with it. We got like a little 4-wheeler here. It's like an 01, and I think we're going to build a turbo kit for it. Just mess around, really, have some fun, and try to make some more videos.
Dalton, what's your plans?
I do plan on doing a lot of stuff to the ZR1. You know, I've kind of had it for a couple of years, and I haven't really touched much performance on it, which I know that's pretty sad. But the goal is like 800 of the wheels this year, hopefully pretty soon. But you know, I want to take it to the strip a few times as well. So
yeah, you know, I've said this many times. The C6 ZR1 is my favorite vet by far. My plans for 2018 is sort of up in the air, but either a project car or a new car. I don't know.
Does every channel need a project car? Is that the question?
Does every car? Yeah, that's a good question. Does every channel need a project car?
I'm not bashing project cars. I think I want one, but I just want to know: does everyone need one? Is that like?
That'll be my truck.
I think everyone should get a project car, no matter what, and then we should have a race with all different aspects. You know, do a drag race, we could do corner, we could do off road, and just see who takes the cake. I know my car won't go off road when I want a project car, but I'll send it anyways. It don't matter.
Hey, does a Turbo Twinkie count as a project car?
Hey, if you call it a project car, you can call it a project car. I mean, that's what it is. It's up to you.
Nobody loves my Turbo Twinkie. I swear, I put a video up on it and it gets like 3 views. I don't know why. People need to start watching Turbo Twinkie videos.
Some people do. They're like 12.
You got to put Twinkie in the title.
I do sometimes. Does that 12-year-old drive a big turbo GTI? I think he does. Anyway, how do you guys feel about 1320? Jay McCallum is asking.
Like the company or
the videos. I don't know. I don't watch many of them. Street racing, I guess, in particular, I think is a basic question. Or we could move on to John Dock should race the red Camaro off of Street Outlaws. Who watches Street Outlaws?
Fireball?
I guess so.
Now, my car's like, everyone thinks my car's a race car, dude. The thing weighs 4,000 pounds with me in it. It's like every bit of it. Still got AC. If I put my seats back in it, I got heated seats. So it's not like, it's no race car.
Oh, okay.
But I would get my ass drug on Street Outlaws all day. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So how fast do those cars run? So I've watched Street Outlaws like 3 times, and then I realized that it was fake because they pay police to block off the roads, and they have these big lights that come out. And it's really not street racing, right? It's not illegal. Like around here, you could go to Doty Drive or whatever, and it's actual street racing where if you get caught, you're going to jail forever, you know. And that's what I originally thought that show was, but it's not. What do you guys think of that show?
I don't watch it, I'll be honest.
The racing in it is real, definitely. Everything else might be staged. It might be on a blocked off road, but they're definitely racing crazy horsepower cars on an unprepped surface, or however unprepped they call it. But I mean, just to be going as fast as they do with like a light pole right there, I mean, it's stupid. Like I mean, hell yeah, I'd do it, but I would tell people I wouldn't do it just because it's like those cars, if they make a pass, they're gonna run like a low 4 in the 8th mile, like anywhere from like a 430 to a 450 at like 160 to 180 mile an hour.
Oh wow. Does anybody else have something they want to talk about? I'm looking at comments right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to read through the comments too. I forgot that was even going on there. I don't know how far back they go, but
I think they go back to the beginning, but
yeah, I think this year from the, I mean, the those of us on this video right now are obviously, you know, domestic automobile enthusiasts in terms of what our focus is, and that's not to say none of us don't, you know, like European or imports or anything like that, but what's going on right now with, you know, with Dodge and Chevy, GM, and Ford with, you know, these high performance, you know, high horsepower cars is pretty incredible. If, you know, you would have told me, you know, 8 years ago that in 2018, you know, the Mustang and the, you know, Corvette and Camaro and Challenger and Charger are all going to be, you know, over 700 horsepower, and, you know, some, who knows what's going to be with, you know, the newest Ford and GM stuff, but, you know, 800 horsepower or whatever, you know, it would have been like, there's no way that's ever going to happen. No company's going to put out a car like that unless it's, you know, Ferrari or somebody like that. So the fact that this is happening here, you know, with, you know, the companies, you know, here in the US is pretty awesome that we're able to, you know, be here for that and experience it and drive these cars. And even still, like, the group of people that do this stuff on YouTube, you know, like I said, like all of us here, and Mike and Nick and Cletus, and, you know, there's tons of more channels obviously, but I think it'll be a cool year, and there will be some new people pop up, obviously, with, you know, it's, to me, it's kind of neat, all the new channels that pop up when a new vehicle comes out. You know, I think when the new GT500 comes out, there will be some, you know, obviously new channels pop up where the content's focused around that, and you know, and the new ZR1 comes out, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it'll be a cool year for you know, this type of stuff and this type of stuff on YouTube. So I'm excited to see, you know, because, you know, obviously it's not feasible for, well, unless you're Mike, then you can get however many you want. But you know, I mean, I would love to own a, you know, one supercar from each brand, but so that's never going to happen. So I got to live through with, you know, the one that I can fortunately get, and then, you know, watch other guys with, you know, with theirs. So I'm excited to see these, you know, the competition come out with cars and watch other guys, you know, do cool stuff with them. So.
All right. So we talked about, real quickly, we talked about the GT500, right, which is Ford. We sort of talked about maybe the Z28. John, since you're the Chevy guy, and Dalton, you're the other Chevy guy, what do you think the top car from Chevy will be besides the ZR1 this year?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know if they're gonna do. It's hard to say they're gonna do the Z28 in like you guys said earlier, a drag car or a track car again, because the last one was a track car. You know, AC was an option, and I don't know. I don't think they sold very well. I think there was few still on the lot from 2015.
Now, are we talking about just drag racing or just performance overall?
Performance overall. What do you? I mean, I don't think that, you know, like the Demon drove media attention in our sort of world of the car world all of 2018. Unlike what the Hellcat did in 2015, right? And what the Camaro ZR1 did last year. What do you think? Or I'm sorry, whatever. You guys use too many letters. Come up with names. Whatever. The red Camaro that Nick has. That car drove, yeah, ZL1. That car drove the media's attention all last year, right? Car and Driver and Motor Trend and all those guys were doing videos after videos of that. What do you think is going to be the car this year that is going to drive the media attention all year round, where everybody is like excited about it?
The ZR1.
You think that's going to be it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think
that car's going to be insane.
I think a lot of manufacturers are going to wait till 2020 just because it's like a more special year, I guess. So like the ZR1 will probably have, I guess, the spotlight, you would say, for 2019. But 2020, I think that there's going to be, like I know Dodge is due for a refresh with like the Challenger and the Charger. Chevy's been talking about doing like either an updated 6th gen or even a 7th gen platform. I don't know. And then kind of Ford had their refresh here for 18, so they might do something like a small refresh for 2020. So I think 2020 will be a lot of stuff in the car industry. But
so do you guys think Dodge is basically going to sit out 2019 or 2018 with the 2019 model year without anything cool and special like the Demon or an upgraded Hellcat?
I think so.
Man, you guys are blowing up my plans for 2018. Somebody asked in the comments, and I wish I remembered who it was, but it was a little bit ago. They want to know, Riley, why you didn't get a Viper.
They're expensive, and they were going down in value. I was like, okay, this might be feasible. And then they stopped production. Now they shot right back up in value. So now it's kind of like, well, back to square one. But, you know, it's one of those things you just got to find a good deal on them, but it's hard to right now. And, you know, I have to find a used one, I guess.
Do you think that, yeah, do you think they're going to come back with the Viper?
Yeah.
So here's the deal with that. So in the past, they did away with the Viper, but they still had the Viper plant. Well, this time they actually legitimately shut down the Viper plant, and everybody working on the Viper team has now been, I guess, redistributed amongst SRT and what have you. So I think Viper, but I don't think it's going to be for a while before it actually comes back.
Well, they should just take it over and build it right out of the Ferrari plant and just rename a Ferrari a Viper. I'm okay with that.
Perfect.
I think they should take the front end of the Viper and put the wing on the back and put that both on a Jeep and call it the Snapper.
I agree.
All right, so what do you guys think about the Trackhawk? That was another question in the comments.
They're cool.
I've never driven one. I've driven the SRT version of the Jeep, but they seem to be, you know, is that too much power for an SUV? No. What do you think of this whole idea of SUVs going just crazy ass power?
I guess if you only have one choice,
yeah.
If you only have one car, I guess you'd go that route, I guess.
And then you have the Lamborghini SUV and then the Ferrari SUV, which I think is a bunch of crap.
Yeah, see, I like Chevy's idea of they're like making the RST Tahoe or whatever, and it's like great, but it's literally just doesn't have enough power to like even be some sort of sports model of an SUV when you compare it to Dodge or anything else like that. So it drives me nuts how like, oh, it's so sweet, and really it's just like, and it's still gonna be slow as hell. It's not gonna anything performance even compared to the what is it, the Durango, or not the Durango, some SRT.
Yeah, that'd be the SRT Durango.
Yeah, I mean that thing still makes like almost 500 crank, which is a lot. So I mean, I don't know, it's something to really compare. I think Dodge is killing it right now with all of their high performance stuff and their marketing as well. I think if other manufacturers would get on board, they, you know, it'd be a lot more competitive. But
we got some good rednecks in our team.
Yeah. They just let them go way too wild, and like I love it because it works out. Like it's I mean, yeah. It pisses me off. Chevy's a bunch of idiots. As much as I love Chevy, their marketing is so lame.
So the unicorn, or the car that keeps on showing up that on the internet, and there just happens to be an article written today.
Drag racing. Leave me alone. I just ran a 10. Just ran a 10 second.
Oh, welcome to Texas. Sorry.
Is it a requirement to own a gun in Texas?
Yes.
Pretty much.
If you want to,
It should be a requirement in Chicago, but it's not. All right.
You think so?
So the car that keeps on coming up in spy shots and videos everywhere, but nobody knows the name of it or whatever, and it's that mid-engine Chevy. They keep on calling it the mid-engine Corvette, but I can't see them actually naming it Corvette. What are your thoughts on that car?
It might be a Cadillac, some people say. I don't know if that shouldn't be it either, though.
No, that would be even dumber.
No, yeah, I agree.
It's actually the new Chevy Cobalt.
That's what I'm hoping.
Did I ever tell you how I lost to a Chevy Cobalt in a CT or in a XLRV?
you shouldn't tell anybody about that.
Did you have an XLRV or something?
I did.
No way.
Yeah.
With the North Star V8 in it, the dual overhead cam.
Yeah.
Oh man, you poor thing.
Yeah, it wasn't. So literally, I was at a stoplight in Naperville, and a Cobalt comes up next to me, and the guy goes, "You think your car's fast, don't you?" And I go, "Yeah." And I literally just got it a week before, and this four-door Cobalt lit me up. Like, I even jumped the light, and he just drove right around me, like I was standing still. It was horrible, embarrassing. I had the car for like 3 weeks. Got rid of it.
How'd you overcome it?
He sold it.
Counseling.
Yeah. I drove an Escalade for a few years before I got back into the sports car game. But what do you guys think of that mid-engine Vette? Do you think it's going to be something like the Ford GT, where it's only like 30 cars built and only celebrities get them? Or do you think it's going to be something that they'll mass produce?
I hope it's not like that, because I think that was like the dumbest thing that Ford ever did. Like, why even make a car if no one could buy it? And why are you going to put a price tag on it? That's so stupid. I know one person that has it, and he literally like will drive it once. That's it.
Well, not only that, but it has a V6.
Yeah, I don't think that's as much of a factor as that no one could get it. I mean, they could put like a V30 in there at this point, and it still doesn't matter because no one will ever have one.
That's true. It almost seemed like celebrities are getting it. And now John Cena is getting sued.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I sold mine.
He literally didn't fit in it, and then they're like, I guess they make you sign a contract saying that you can't resell it.
Yeah, which is dumb.
Just Ford being Ford. That could be Riley here in a couple months.
Yeah, with my like 2006 Mustang, they're making me sign a contract.
Don't tell me you're getting a 3-valve.
Dude,
You better not try to flip that thing.
You're getting a 3-valve?
I'm thinking about it.
Oh my God. My landlord, who I live in his house, he has a 3-valve. That thing literally is so slow. I mean, that thing cannot even get out of its own way. It makes like a whopping like 220 wheel.
No, this would be more than 220.
Okay, all right. We'll see. I'll be watching.
Well,
Either a boosted 3-valve or an F body. Those were the two I've kind of narrowed it down to.
Don't even think about getting an F body.
Why? I can get a mullet to be flown in the wind.
I grew up with a mullet. The F body, I already claimed it when I was like 6.
Yeah, so if you do get a Mustang, you definitely cannot take it to car shows. Especially that generation, because that's the generations that die. So, all right, hold on. Let's answer some questions here. Let me go back to the chat window, see what questions we got.
I want to ask Riley a question. Will we see more drag racing videos? Because I do like your drag racing coverage, because you do go over everything quite nicely.
I am drag racing Saturday. So 1 week.
All right. Well, I'll be on the lookout.
So
Oh, sweet.
If you channel your inner John Doc and do something crazy, I want a shameless plug.
I might have to call you in the middle of it and be like, hey, any last words?
And I'll say what I tell everyone: to drive with your heart, not your eyes, and you'll be set.
Oh, so just floor it then.
Yes, that's it.
Oh, this is a good question. What manufacturer out of all of them will come out with a car that's let's call it an affordable 1,000 horsepower car?
Kia.
Who's going to be the first one to be Kia?
1,000 horsepower?
Yeah, the first car to 1,000 horsepower. Dodge is at 840.
Right?
So
no, never.
You do not think?
And affordable, never.
No. What I mean by affordable is less than $200,000, given whatever.
Never.
You don't think so?
Dude, it takes way too nice of parts to make that much power, and they cost way too much money.
Okay.
From a factory standpoint, it'll never have forged everything. No way. It'll be like pushing it, and then every knucklehead that gets one's gonna blow it up, and then be like, "These are pieces of shit." I don't think that'll ever happen. Personally, that's my take on it.
Yeah, that's tough to say. It seems like it definitely seems very unlikely that, I don't know, because how many cars are even made that are above that right now? Like just two or three.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, what? You have the Chiron and the Bugatti Veyron, right?
Yeah.
And that's it. I can't think of any.
Do any of the yeah, those there's not very many either way, and look at the price of those, and even some of the other cars that are even close to that. I mean, like the 918 or the, I don't even know what's the lot for, like any of the.
Those are all the 900s.
Yeah.
I will say, just from the standpoint of like a Demon, let's say a Demon. What does a Demon make? 808 crank.
840.
840.
The difference between 840 and 1,000 or 1,000 plus is like the amount of stress and strain on a motor is like astronomical, and the cost in parts. You go from like having like a $900 crankshaft to like a $2,300 crankshaft, and then assembly has to be spot on. Like everything has to be absolutely perfect, and that costs a lot more.
Yeah, hand assembly of the motors and stuff, and yeah.
And plus, imagine everyone who blows that up. It's more power. Obviously, it's like it's gonna find the weaker link faster. So I mean, you'll have like Grandpa Dan down the road trying to leave the car show just on the limiter.
Hey, buddy, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. So I tend to think that somebody will, and my bet is Dodge because they're crazy and they have nothing else but horsepower, right?
Stop it.
Let's be honest. What? I mean, that's all Dodge has is marketing, right? Burnouts and horsepower.
That's all you really need.
Well, yeah. So, they have to top something. I would imagine they would come out with 1,000 horsepower on a limited production like the Demon. Maybe. I don't know. That's going to be interesting.
I got a better question. Not saying your question's bad.
No.
When will right now everything supercharged is popular because it's easy and it works. It is a limited. Yeah. When will we start seeing V8 muscle cars with turbochargers on them from the factory?
How about the GT500? Well, you see that from Ferrari, but from American-made cars.
Because the difference in American V8 and a European V8 is a lot. Like European V8 alone will not make much power.
Right, because they're the size of a pretzel.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, like our V8s are for the most part really big displacement V8s, where a lot of the stuff overseas is tiny, smaller than probably a lot of our V6s that we have here. Well, maybe not, but not even
liter, right?
2.9
liter, right? Isn't the Ferrari V8s only like 4 liters?
Yeah, something like that. It's tiny, and with that you can rev the hell out of them. But turbo, I don't know why nobody's ever done here V8 turbos. I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. I mean, you only see turbo 4 cylinders and V6s, and I would imagine from a packaging standpoint, in terms of production, and it seems like supercharger is probably easier to package into mass production, would be my guess. I don't know, but it would be cool to see something like that, because I, off the top of my head, can't think of any V8, turbo, single turbo or twin turbo V8 gas engine.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see a twin turbo GT350 Mustang. That would be sick with the flat plane crank. That would be, I bet you that would be awesome sounding.
Yeah.
And that motor, I mean, I don't know much about building engines, but it just seems to me like, with it being a high revving engine and 8,200 RPM, that just seems like it'd be good for a turbo. If any manufacturer was to do that, I think that would be Ford, because I think they're the only ones with that are getting into any turbo technologies, right? Because Chevy and Dodge is definitely staying away from turbos.
Yeah, everything. And I will say, like, Ford really doesn't have anything factory supercharged. Obviously, the Shelby, that's kind of like a performance production model, not built truly by Ford. But I think that turbocharging stuff. Power wise, it'll make much more power easier. The issue is, if they can make it in a streetable everyday package without catching everyone on fire.
Yeah, so the question is, the GT500, it hasn't been announced what engine is going to be in it. I've seen both rumors, it being a turbo and a V8. What do you guys think? Do you think it'll be a turbo or a load?
Well, Ford's really big on
EcoBoost.
On the EcoBoost thing. So,
right.
Like we were even saying earlier with the Ford GT, I mean, it's a Turbo 6. So granted, it's a great setup in that car, and the car's built around that setup and works well with it. But and they put it in the Raptor, obviously, too, and it's gone into a lot of the trucks. And I can see that being a possibility. I don't know if it would be a V8, but well, then again, I don't know. I don't know if you could use the setup that's in the GT in a GT500, and because they're such different cars and built, for different purposes. I don't know that it would work the same. I don't know. Maybe.
There were spy photos not too long of the future GT500's motor, and I think it's a 5.2 liter. That's what everybody on the internet's saying. So
yeah, I mean, that was the question, right? Is Ford? I don't think Ford is stupid enough to make a GT500 that's a V6.
No, I don't think they could pull it off with that car.
So there's been some spy. Jay just put in the comments that he saw some spy shots of the GT500 motor with the blower on top, which is consistent with the main rumors I've read. But I would wonder. I would really like to see it turbocharged, in my opinion. I think that would be fine. And it would probably be the first GT500 that's with an automatic.
Are you saying like with the new 10-speed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because every GT500 previously only had a 6-speed or a manual transmission, right? Even back in the 60s. So do you think that? I think they're going to go with a 10-speed in that car. I can't imagine them not going with it.
There's a good question. What fast car would y'all recommend for a 19-year-old?
Oh, definition of fast. And budget.
Yeah, budget.
Let's assume low budget, and let's assume fast, as in like maybe something that would run like 13s
12?
or maybe 12s in the quarter mile. Something that's like, it's quick but not something completely overpowering for a 19-year-old or whatever.
Camaro SS is a good choice. An RT Mopar is a good choice. A 5.0 Mustang is a good choice. Well, obviously used of all these. Really those cars for you're not going to go out and just dominate the drag strip with them or any road courses or anything. But a used 5.0 Mustang or even the older. The previous, what was it, the 4.7 or 4.6? What were the old Mustangs?
Right.
And any of the RTs for like the Challenger, Charger, 300 Magnum, and the SS Camaro. Those are all good. If you buy them used, several years old, we're talking. I mean, you're talking about a 19-year-old that's when did the SS came back out in what 2009?
10, yeah. So
you could probably get a 2010 SS for relatively cheap, and I know you can get a used, Mopar RT for really cheap, from 2008, 2007, somewhere around there. So I think any of those are good options. The three American muscle cars are good, good options for just good power and fun all around cars.
So, in my opinion, given that you're fact of 19 and the police are probably looking at you extra hard, I would get, and Louis Bernard in the comments actually mentioned my suggestion, and that's a Marauder. They're fun. They're cheap. They're the 4.6 liter, 300 horsepower, whatever, right? And they go under the radar. They look like a squad car.
Yeah, I mean, there was never really a lot of those, were there? Because it seems like it'd be hard to find those.
Well, you can find them pretty decently. A lot of people bought them and just held them, and they haven't really held their value, right? They're almost like the 6th gen ZR1 in a way. Yeah. Everybody thought they were going to be valuable, but they turned out not to be. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right, you're good. Sorry, I had to remove Theodore Raz from the comment section.
Hey, there were some funny comments in there.
I didn't even read. I missed it.
Theodore's in everything, dude.
Y'all missing some great things. I've been getting roasted because I'm in a room with other men.
It's not how many men are in the room with you. It's what you're doing in the room with that many men.
Currently, there are 0 women.
That's all right. Sausage parties never hurt nobody. It's all right.
SRTMUSH 2018. We're going to quote that.
Decals.
Is anybody into the hot hatch category? Do people like them? I like them.
I like the Focus R.
I'll tell you what. I have a little bit of a like the Focus RS, the new Focus RS. I think that little car is really awesome. I've not driven one, but I think they look cool, and the whole premise of the car I think is really cool. And I've heard mixed reviews on them. Like some people say, "Oh yeah, it's great." Some people say the idea of it was great, but it wasn't executed well. But I think the whole premise of that is pretty cool. And
the RS is great until your head gasket blows.
Yeah. I think it's a cool little car. I'm trying to think of what other hot hatches there are. I think that's one of the, in terms of what they were going for. Now, whether they achieved it or not, I don't have an opinion on because I've never driven one. But I think that one might be one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, all right. So one other question: did anybody watch Doug DeMuro's latest video where he raced a Porsche 911 and an R8 in his Benz and kicked their ass?
Didn't see it.
DeMuro has a AMG E63 wagon, right? And he raced a 911 Carrera, and then he also raced a R8 V8, and he beat him in a drag strip, right? Sleeper car. What's your favorite sleeper car? Chevy SS, that's definitely a sleeper. Looks like a Malibu.
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
I tell you what, something we all saw at the call out. Towards the end of the day, some dude rolls up in an Escalade with a V badge on it. I'm like, what's this dude doing? And he went down there. I don't remember what he ran, but it was like 12.
I thought it was. Yeah, I thought it was like 11s or 10s, wasn't it?
It was way faster than I thought. I was like, why did this dude put V badges on his Escalade? And
that thing was fast.
yes, that was a cool sleeper.
Keeping with the GM theme, it's not necessarily a sleeper, I would say, but I've got a soft spot for CTSVs, and I mean,
oh god,
yeah, they're really fast, and we all know they're fast, but to the normal person, they're like, oh, look at that Cadillac, and they could kind of be considered a sleeper in a way.
Yeah, on my wish list in my dream garage is a CTSV wagon 6-speed.
Yes.
See, I like a CTSV. They're actually I like the first gens, the new ones, the wagon, the coupe, the sedan. I like them all. I think they're just the whole idea of here you got a grandpa car that's been, it's a luxury car that's just been, put on roids, and especially when you see one pull up that's either got like, long tube headers and, no mufflers, or they got cutouts on them and it rolls up sounding like a NASCAR, and it's got, tires all the way around, slicks on the back and, welds all the way around. And I'm like, dang, man, like that's a cool car. I definitely, like, I think it's probably like a lot cooler version of the Chrysler 300 SRT. And, I think the newer ones are even more sleeper because the first gens looked a little more muscular and a little more aggressive. The newer ones look a little more sleek and I guess refined or sporty or whatever. So to me, they're even a little more sleeper, but I agree. That's a good choice.
Well, when I win the Powerball later tonight, I'll get every one of you guys.
All right.
Sweet. Tonight.
Hey, thanks, man. We will hold you to that.
Listen, that's fine. I'll send them your way. Just tell me what color and what color interior you want, and listen, you'll have one to every one of you.
Perfect.
All right. What will you pay the taxes on it too?
Everything. I'll even give you a free tank of gas.
Nice. All right. I think that pretty much does it for this live stream. Thank you everybody for joining. Does anybody have any closing remarks?
I want to set up a race with SRTMUSH, Demon versus Cal at some point. I'll give you the wheel or something. I'll give you the back tire of the hit, whatever need to happen. We'll line it up.
I'll run you. You'll smoke me, but I'll run you.
All right, listen, let's make it happen. I know you're kind of far, but I saw you roll up in a motorhome, so I know no matter where you are, you'll make it there.
We'll go. I told Nick.
I want to race the motorhome.
That's not our motorhome, by the way. That's a
well,
friend.
Talk to him for me.
I will. But yeah, I'm down, John. I'm down totally. I told Nick if they do another call out to let me know, and I'll definitely be there. So
well, I'm trying to set something up here in North Carolina where it's not a YouTube call out, but it's a race that's put on by myself, my shop, and maybe a couple other YouTubers are going to sponsor classes. And this is off the record, obviously, with I don't know how many people watching, but that's what the plan is for next season. So definitely want to invite some people out there. And if you were down, if you have it and ready to run, I mean, we're more than happy to have you here in North Carolina.
Yeah, man, hit me up. We'll be there.
Let you know for sure.
So, I'm looking for a rematch too against your Demon, against my Hellcat.
Okay. Well, you already lost against my Hellcat, so you definitely lose against the Demon.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some work.
Well,
I'm not putting it on YouTube first, and there's no way in hell I'm putting another doll on YouTube saying I'm gonna kick your ass either.
Well, get to the woodshed. Get to the woodshed.
All right. Well, I wanted to thank everybody for joining. This was a lot of fun. There's a request for you, Riley. Can you say, "Hey, buddy"?
Oh shoot, I gotta think about this. Who wants me to say "Hey, buddy" like Street Speed does?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
There you go.
Jeez.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. Subscribe to Dalton's channel, to John's channel, to Riley's channel, and to SRTMUSH's channel. And please subscribe to my channel. This was our first one. I hope it's a lot of fun, and I hope to do this again.
I'm never coming back.
Thanks for having us.
This was fun.
Oh, come on. Next time you guys got to host it. What do you think?
All right.
Now, my subscribers are mean. They just pick on me and call me ugly all the time. So I don't think I want to subject you guys to that.
You know what? My subscribers call me skinny on every single comment. So, you know.
Pretty good then.
You know what's funny is I never get insulted in person when I meet people. I'm just saying. All over the